All right. Good afternoon, VV Nation. What's going on? It's Patrick with VectorVest back with you once again, starting off our first stream of week 2 for our second annual Trading for Charity event. Welcome one, welcome all. Hopefully you guys are having a good day so far. Not sure why that didn't work. Joey or Boston, if you guys are in the background, will you check why the exclamation tips command isn't generating anything? Thank you for pointing that out, Jay. I was checking it. I was going to pin it at the top. For some reason, it wasn't one to come in there. There we go. Awesome. Thank you guys. So once again, welcome to our second annual Trading for Charity event. My name is Patrick France, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. And today I'm going to be doing some live trading for you guys out there. Hopefully you guys can enjoy and learn how to become or how to use the markets to become financially independent. So all of this while also, once again, raising money. Our main focus here is to raise money for Levine Children's Hospital. Going into the holiday season, we're wanting to help them out as much as we can. So that way we can make this holiday season better for the kids once again at Levine. So if you want to donate to Levine, there's two ways to do that. You can use the link in the top of the pinned at the top of the chat. That gives you either one, which you can directly donate to us, or two, you can donate to Levine directly as well. If you donate to us, all that money will be saved up till the very end. And what we'll do is we'll go out, do some Christmas shopping, put all of that money to use, buying toys, goods, clothing, you name it, whatever they need, we go out and get it for them and we bring it to them. And so if you wanna donate that way, use the link in the chat. That way, you know, it pops up on chat and also lets you know. Above me though, as you guys can see right there, we are very close to reaching our first milestone, only about $40 away from our first milestone. So once we get to our first milestone, let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. So after our first milestone, we have a VectorVest swag bag to give away. So once we reach that goal, then we'll you have to be live or you have to be here in person to be able to win. We'll have you guys type in a secret code there. And then that way we'll announce the winner live during the stream. Once we get to the next one, we have a course giveaway to give away, or to one lucky winner will be able to attend. And as you can see, 1,500, we will have Glenn Singh. At 2,000, we'll have another course giveaway. At 2,500, we'll give away a free annual subscription to the mobile premium. 3,500, you guys get to pick one of the items to be purchased and donated. At 4,000, you guys get to pick one food that I get to eat, whether hopefully it's something that I like, but if it's something that I've never heard of, you know, it is what it is. I'll have to try it and figure it out. At 4,500, we're going to be giving away an annual intraday subscription for the year. At 5,000, I'll have to shave off my beard. As much as I dislike that, we'll have to shave the beard. 5,000, at 7,500, we will make a live or a video for you guys. All of the education department will sing a Christmas carol dressed up in Christmas costumes. So, and then that video will be posted right here on the VectorVest YouTube channel. At 10,000, Glenn and I will both shave our heads live while we're on stream. And at 15,000, Joey will shave his head as well. So you guys have a lot of goals here set in front of you. It's up to you guys how far you want to get here this year. All right, bacon makes everything better. Yeah, bacon is delicious. I would not be upset if you guys chose bacon. That's for sure. All right, so getting into the markets. Markets have been cooling off a little bit. If you guys watched the 6 o'clock video we posted last night, gave you guys a little bit of a heads up of what to expect this week, what news you need to be aware of, and there's a lot of PMI data. We have a lot of employment and jobless claims data coming out this week, as well as the Fed interest rate decision tomorrow at 2, which I will be live for our afternoon market action. Glenn will not be here, but I will be, so come hang out with us as the Fed announces it and we get to watch how the market reacts to that news and analyze it in real time for you guys. So make sure to be here tomorrow at 2 o'clock for that as well. So yeah, with that, hopefully I've got everything covered. If you guys want to, if you forget the milestones, you want to see the milestones, you can use exclamation milestones in the chat as well. and that'll pull up the link for, or give you guys the milestones and where our goals are. So hopefully that does a little bit of the housekeeping here. All right, now with that, let's go ahead, jump right into some trading. So right now I'm looking at the VectorVest composite here, and as we can see, the market has been steadily moving lower. But one of the things that we do notice, looking at the DPO, we're seeing higher lows and higher highs. Looking at the MACD, same situation, higher lows and higher highs. So what this is telling me is I'm expecting to see a reversal coming into the market. Well, right now, we had the previous high set here around 54.18. We're breaking through that as we speak. So could be setting up some decent opportunities for some good trades. So let's go ahead and start to look for some candidates to get into here today. So we'll go into the unit search tool. As always, go into my favorite personal search, searches price volume, and choosing, there we go, daily boomers % price change for the trading for charity event. Perfect. Glad to see those are working there. All right, so we've got a few stocks coming in here. Let's go ahead and take a look at them real fast. AMBD seems to be flat, most likely a buyout, so probably going to skip over that one. SONN had a great run earlier, starting to pull back a little bit though. You do have some potential resistance at 270. You had support at 250, broke below that. So now the next level of support comes all the way down to 237. Got to keep an eye on that and see how it's going to react to that level of support there. Moving on from there, ATAI, big run up earlier this morning, pulling back as we speak. Could be setting up for a new run. We'll keep an eye on the volume, keep an eye on the charts here. KNSA, big run up, but volume is really iffy right now. You're having some minutes where there's no volume at all, and then volume is definitely lightening up, so we need to be careful with this one here. CYH trading this now. We'll take a look at that in a second. Yen, not bad. China Bull 3 times ETF. Volume, though, not really where we want to see it. Moving in the wrong direction. CWeb, same situation. ELP looks interesting. Nice steady rise from bottom left to upper right. Unfortunately, volume is steadily declining here, however. SoFi, moving in the wrong direction. Uber had some big news, or starting to make some headlines here as of late. Not able to really maintain it with the current market environment, though. And then BCOR, just not enough volume, not moving in the right direction. So out of this list, we'll keep an eye on ELP, KNSA in case the volume starts picking back up, ATAI, and SONN. So we'll go ahead, put them in our graphs. ATAI. What was the other one? KNSA and ELP. KNSA, ELP. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get my graph layout set up. I forgot I wasn't in the Jockey Club this morning. I apologize for any Jockey Club members here. I wasn't there this morning. Had something to take care of, so I was not able to be there, but we're here now, so let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so looking at it, SONN still trying to find that support, still testing that support as we speak. ATAI still just moving sideways right now. I really like KNSA, but the volume is the one thing that scares me from jumping on board. Just not enough liquidity to really get in and out quickly. Same with ELP for right now. So while we're waiting on those to really start developing, let's go ahead, take a look. CYH, Community Health. Whew, okay. I like what we're seeing here with this one. Why is my layout not set up again? There we go. All right. So KYH, big run up here. Get rid of this. There we go. Let's take a look at it. So we have some resistance / support at 306. You do have a little bit of a warning sign here, so be careful, Jay. I like the run. Most likely you have some decent profits baked in. Just be careful of that candle on strong volume here. You don't want to get caught out while it reverses. So just be careful of that one. All right, one of the stocks that I'm keeping an eye on here as well today, especially with what's going on tomorrow, we have UVXY and also DRV, two ETFs that I've been keeping my eye on because these could become pretty important, especially, based off of everything going on. You have BlackRock stating that the Fed is going to mention something about a pivot in their verbiage tomorrow. That's giving the markets some, what I like to call false optimism. And so we got to be careful with that. The Fed chair, Jerome Powell, has stated time and time again, he's willing to bring the pain to the markets, and we're not to the goals that he has set. And also inflation is still high. So while there may be some verbiage about it, I don't think that's going to be his main message. And so if that's the case, if all this is just based off of false optimism and the Fed sticks to their guns like he said he's going to, I expect to see the market start selling off and UVXY could start seeing another rally coming into it. Also, if the Fed continues to raise interest rates, which pretty much guaranteed to have a rate increase tomorrow, most likely either 0.75 percentage point or 0.5%. Either way, they're still going higher. So DRV is the other option that I'm keeping my eye on. DRV, a little light here today, but starting to move steadily higher here. If I zoom into a 6-month graph, we can see a potential double bottom being formed right here around 59.04. I like the setup, the fact that it kissed this level of support and is bouncing off of that. Also, the fact that it's oversold, starting to potentially turn around, still in a long-term uptrend, just on a short-term basis, oversold currently, could make for an early speculative trade to take advantage of. I like this trade. We'll keep an eye on this one. May add it in as a swing trade. Ryan's coming in, UTME. So let's go ahead, take a look at that one for him. UTME. Also, if you guys are just now getting in, make sure, as always, smash that like button, share this with all your friends and family. That way we can continue to get as much eyes on our cause that we're trying to raise money for as possible to help meet those goals that we have set. I know they're lofty goals, but I know the VV Nation can make this happen. So let's get to it. Let's make some money for Levine. So do that. And also, if you're not a subscriber, make sure to hit that red subscribe button. Turn on notifications so that way you get notified every time we go live. All right. So with that, let's go ahead. Take a look at UTME. UTME. Ooh, no volume. This is the one thing that really scares me with it, Ryan. No volume here. Zooming out, stock is pretty much flat on a 3-month basis, 6-month basis, pretty much flat. Not a whole lot of trading opportunity with this one unless there's options and then maybe a condor, maybe some sort of a spread. But right now, probably going to stay away from that one. ABNA, sure, Joy. I'd be glad to take a look at that one for you. Let's go ahead and pull it up. ABNA. ABNB. Oops. There we go. Going through. Airbnb right now on a 6-month basis, still moving lower. You do have, you're off your sessions lows or off of the time frames lows, but you're also off the time frames highs. And until we can see continuation for the higher highs being formed, I would be extremely careful. Earnings are today after the bell. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at earnings. Earnings are steadily rising. That's definitely a positive. But so even if they have good earnings, you also have to be careful about forward guidance and what their expectations are. There's been a lot of talk about how people aren't having their houses filled or whatever, their rentals filled. People are slowing down on using the Airbnb service. Same with what's the other one? Verbo. So you just want to be careful with that. And, in the current environment, you're looking at it realistically. Putting it on here. Here's your trend line on the lower end. And then here's your trend line on the higher end. So you're consolidating at the moment. And this is what we call a wicked wedge. So this is consolidation, meaning it's basically winding up like a spring. Now, with consolidation, you don't really want to trade it until you see a breakout one way or the other. Once it breaks out, then you have a strong probability that the trade will continue to run that way. Because what you're seeing basically, and a quick explanation, is a spring effect where it's just tightening and tightening and tightening until all of a sudden, once it breaks out, then it explodes. So in this consolidation, we want to be careful with it. And probably wait for the actual breakout to occur before trying to jump on board with that. Can you tell me about TOLZ? Let's go ahead, take a look. TOLZ. ETF Pro Shares. GLIN. Not familiar with it. So let's go ahead and do this. Pull up a stock analysis report. TOLZ. Maximize here. ProShares DJ Brookfield Global Infrastructure ETF. USA seeks investment results that tracks the performance of the Dow Jones Brookfield Global Infrastructure Composite. I am not familiar with the Brookfield Global Infrastructure Composite, so I can't give any insight to that. I'm not even going to attempt to. But from a chart standpoint, you do have a short-term uptrend, longer term still in a downtrend. So this could be a little bit of relief, but if we see it continue, we can see the MACD start to go above that level of 0. Then that would tell us it's starting to go from that longer term downtrend into a longer term uptrend. And from that aspect, that's a positive. It is overbought right now, but as we talk about, just because it's overbought doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means you need to be more careful. It can stay in overbought territory for quite some time, so just be mindful of that aspect as well. All right, let's go ahead, jump back to our ETFs. So DRV, I like what we're seeing with this one. And then UVXY, still having a little bit of indecision currently. So with that, DRV, I'm going to go ahead and add this. Let's go put it on the 1 day. Pull them back a little bit. Actually, for the swing trade, unless this starts taking off, which I don't see that really happening, unless it starts taking off, I'm going to wait till the end of today's stream before purchasing it to add it in as a swing trade. And then UVXY, waiting for a little bit of confirmation here. Right now, you do have some potential resistance or some headwind at 975. We can get back above 975. We could see a nice little run coming in. You can see it was acting as resistance here, finally broke above to get to that new high, pulled back, acted as support, broke support, now retreating it as resistance once again. So 975, we can get back above that. That could be an entry that we're looking for. All right, let's go take a look at some of the stocks that we had earlier. SONN, still holding that 237, 236 support. Hasn't broken it quite yet. But at the same time, we're not really seeing a blast off or turnaround on SONN. So just got to be patient. What would your swing trade, the top be for? Oh, what would be my swing trade stop for DRV? So looking at DRV from an end of day perspective, going back to it. There we go. So DRV, my line in the sand would be 5904. Now, if I'm not able to be there live watching it constantly, because, we do use this account for the Jockey Club and all that as well, what I would do is I would set some, aggressive Profit Locker Pro stop on it. So that way it stops me out quickly, instead of giving it a whole lot of wiggle room. Now, if I'm able to watch it throughout the day and it breaks down below that point, getting ready to close, let's say by the end of the day below that level, then I would just simply close it out myself manually and move on. Wait for more confirmation one way or the other. All right, so with that, let's go see what the market's doing. We got that breakout, but came back down, now retesting that support here at 54.18. BHVN had news. What's BHVN? Let's go take a look. Don't track it, so that's good for them that they had news, but we don't track it. So most likely it's too low or it doesn't have the volume criteria that we typically take into account to add it in automatically. All right, looking for the right setup. Now the markets, keep in mind, we got to take into account the market conditions. Right now, the market conditions are a little iffy. Everybody's sitting on their seats waiting for the Fed minutes tomorrow, waiting for the Fed's decision tomorrow, see what they say. So we could see some sideways activity, pretty light on the day. Everybody's just kind of being patient and waiting for that before they start making their moves. Now, if we find the opportunities, we're definitely going to take them. But if we don't, that's okay. Hey, we're analyzing some stocks. We're teaching you guys how to use the VectorVest 7 software, and also trying to bring awareness to Levine Children's Hospital. So it's a win-win regardless. Hey there, Mark. Hopefully you're doing well. Glad to see you here today. All right. Let's go ahead. Jump into the unit search. Take a look at the regular daily boomers. A lot more stocks coming in when we do this. ABMD looks like a buyout once again. SONN, we got that in the list here. HSC, nice little uptrend. EPIX could be setting up for another run. We got to keep an eye on that one. Going through them quickly. BZ looks interesting, but I have a feeling that's a Chinese stock, and that's one of my rules. I don't trade Chinese stocks. So if it is, we'll move on from that. Keep going. Whew, API taking a pretty big hit right now. Some of these just, the volume is a little off for me. All right, so out of that list, what was that one that we were looking at? EPIX. I want to keep an eye on that one. Zooming into it a little bit. So looking at it right now, we have this nice support floor right here at 413. We are hitting these lower highs, so that's why we're not touching it quite yet. But you do have a potential double bottom being formed. So let's be patient and see if we can get confirmation of an actual move. What we'd be looking for, you got right about 428 is that previous high from that last little uptick. So that's what we're waiting for. If we can break above that, that would tell us we're outside of this channel. The lower high pattern is dissipating, and therefore a new uptrend is starting to form. Hey, appreciate that, Roger. You're the first presenter on the channel I've heard mention Profit Locker Pro. I use it for nearly every trade. It's incredibly helpful. Yeah, I actually used it for the GME trade that we took last Friday. Got out. Didn't quite capture as much as I would like to, but we still captured about 3% by the end of the trade. So, hey, we'll be patient, wait for a new opportunity, maybe take it again. But right now, we made money on it. Moving on from that one. The only one that we still have is ARCH, I think. No, not ARCH. Let's go ahead, take a look. ACGL. Let's go ahead, pull that up. And so ACGL, as I talked about last time, is a swing trade. And the reason we're taking this trade is because it has what we call, or what by a guy by the name of Dr. Wish calls, a green line breakout. Stock gapped up to a new 1-year high. So you put your line of sand right at the low, 55.15. As long as it stays above that point, stock's either moving sideways or higher. Either way, I'm okay with. So right now, just being patient, hasn't broken that line. Got followed through yesterday, pulling back a little bit here today. No surprise, the markets are pulling back. So not surprised to see that there. Looking at it, let's go back with the market still setting up the way they are. Keeping my eye on UVXY. Here's that 975 level. We're at 970 or 972. Looked like it was trying to break 975. Failed to do so. Got to be patient. Let the trade come to us. DRV, though, starting to move higher once again. So DRV I like. You know what? Let's go ahead, add this into the swing trade portfolio, or add it into our portfolio here. So trading for charity. There we go. Profit Locker Pro. We'll use the aggressive. And for anybody not familiar with it, the Profit Locker Pro begins with a 7% trailing stop, has a profit target of 28%. So we could either do aggressive or aggressive enhanced. And this begins with a 7% trailing stop and has a profit target of 28% and keeps a tighter stop than the standard aggressive stop throughout the trade. So if you look at a little graph between the two, you can see this one gives it more room for error until it gets closer to that 28%. This one, less room for error. So I think I'm going to go with the standard aggressive stop on this one. And where is it trading? 60. You know what? We'll just do market order. That's fine. Place a trade. On a swing trade, I'm not worried about getting the closest penny I possibly can. So I'm okay with just using a market order for a swing trade. All right. Starman wants to take a look at UBX. And don't forget, folks, once again, if you want to help support the reason why we're here for the Trading for Charity event, make sure to click on the link in pinned to the top of the chat. There's 2 links you can use. The first one is a donation directly to us, and that goes towards getting the supplies, clothes, all of that we donate directly to Levine. Or if you want to donate directly to Levine on your own, you can use the secondary link, which goes straight to their general fund there. So don't forget, make sure that to use those links there if you're wanting to donate to help support Levine Children's Hospital. All right, UBX. I have no idea, Mark. I can't see that right now. Joey's the guy who keeps all that organized for me. So UBX, moving in the wrong direction right now. You had dead cat bounce here. Looks like this is that second dead cat bounce. Whenever you see a dead cat bounce once, there tends to be a second one at some point later on, and it's not nearly as strong as as the first one. So I'd be careful with this one currently. Hey, Energy, hopefully you're doing well. So yeah, UBXY, I would be very, very cautious with. All right, let's go ahead, get rid of these. There we go. Taking a look at the market. Market's still trying to find that support at 54.18. We're being patient. Wait for the trades to come to us. EPIX. It was looking like it was trying to hold. Broke through once. Tried to come back up to get back above. Failed to do so. Now moving lower. ATAI. The volume is just drying up. KNSA. Volume drying up as well. SONN. Not holding that support like we were hoping for. So therefore, going to get rid of all of these here. There we go. DRV in the portfolio. I hope y'all got in on that SoFi earnings today. I did not. I wasn't in the Jockey Club, so I was not there for that trade. I don't know if Glenn did. Glenn was stepping in for me today, so. All right, let's go ahead, take a look, see if there's any new candidates. And you know what? If the market breaks that support that we were looking at, we may honestly consider looking at some short positions here today. All right, so going through the list. And you can tell today is the day before a major Fed announcement because a lot of these stocks, the volume is just not quite there like we typically see it. ICPT, interesting, starting to hit a potentially higher low. We can see it break above this high or this high here. That could be a new entry. FPH, just no volume on that one. Carvana would be an interesting trade if we can get above this pattern of lower highs here. I want to move this back a little bit even. We can see a breakout on new volume. Right now, we are retesting that downtrend line. That could be an interesting trade. Now, I don't think Carvana is good fundamentally, but for a quick trade, could be very interesting. Hey, Jay, hopefully you're still in CYH. Pulled back a little bit. 388 never crossed down. Now rounding up another few cents here for you. Just looking for the right trade. I'm glad we didn't get into SoFi. Looks like all the money was made after hours. Since that point, it's been steadily moving lower. EGO, an interesting trading idea, especially with the Fed rate hikes and all that. Gold has been something that's been pretty beaten up, really throughout the last few years, especially. EGO, if we can see it break this 621, that could be an interesting trade to look at. Extra looking good today. Yeah, Extra's looking good today. When is the SEMA event energy? Is it today or tomorrow? All right, so CVNA we'll take a look at. We'll keep on our radar. And then ICPT today through the 4th. Okay, so could be some interesting news coming from that, hopefully. All right, so out of this list, we're going to take ICPT and then CVNA. Keep an eye on those. All right, so the thing, once again, that I like about ICPT, you have a level of resistance right here at 1595. And after that pullback, it ran up, hit this level of support resistance, pulled back to a higher low. And higher lows tends to lead to higher highs. So therefore, we're waiting to see that higher high start kicking in before we jump on board. We have to wait for confirmation from that. They plan to do the live stream tomorrow around noon. Well, I will not be able to attend that, unfortunately. I may be able to watch parts of it, but I will be getting ready for our afternoon market action tomorrow at 2. So I may try to catch as much as I can, but I don't think I'm going to be able to capture or be able to watch the whole thing. I hope you come to AMA tomorrow, though, so that way you can give me all the updates. All right. Folks, we have over 75 people in here right now and only 21 likes. Let's get that number up. Only a third of you guys are hitting that like button. So below me, there's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Hit one of those if you're enjoying yourself. If you want to help support Levine, hit that thumbs up for the kids so that way we can get more awareness on this. So that way we can reach our goals. We're not even at our first goal on our second week. So we've got some work to do. Sounds gone? Not for me. I haven't dropped anything and everything's coming through on my end. All right. Hoping work. Let me catch it too. All right. So looking at ICPT, stalling out a little bit. Need to see it get up there. Hey, Lee. Hopefully you're doing well. Glad to have you here today. Carvana tried to break through, failed to do so. Now back down below that trend line there. Man, I have UVXY on the side screen right now, and it is just consolidating right here. Higher lows, but lower highs still. Hasn't been able to break that 975. Got to be patient. Markets are being resilient, though. They're holding up at the 54.18 level right now. So let's go ahead and take a look. Actually, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to bring this up. A search that I built for our Jockey Club members. We're going to take a look at some of these short sell candidates here. XPO, gap down, hasn't really gone anywhere, though. Yeah, UVXY forming a wicked wedge on a very, very short-term basis. But yeah, it definitely is consolidating right now. I'm keeping an eye on it, though. Whew, Boyle's getting crushed today. BCRX, looking for something a little bit more interesting. A lot of these just slow and steady grinds lower today. And that's the thing. Slow and steady is fine, especially if you're going to be swing trading. But I'm not planning on swing trading, a short position right before a major Fed announcement, just in case. I may be aggressive, but I'm not stupid. All right, UVXY. Right at that level. I'm going to get my trade ready just in case. And we're going to keep an eye on this for a second or two. This will also be using the Profit Locker Pro aggressive stop here as well. I'm watching that volume right at that resistance level. I'm looking for volume to show a lot of interest that will drive it higher. If we don't have that, simply move on. Volume is conviction. It tells us, the investor sentiment out there, that there's a lot of interest. And if there's low volume, that tells us there's not a lot of interest and that trade may not be as viable as we thought it was. So that's why watching volume is extremely important for no matter what style of investor you are, whether you're a long-term investor or a short-term day trader, doesn't matter. Volume is still extremely important. The only thing that changes between a long-term investor and a short-term investor is the time frames on the charts. Being patient with it. I need to see it hold above. Come on, UVXY. So while we're waiting on UVXY, let me know your guys' thoughts. Fed comes out tomorrow. What do you guys think we're going to see, a 0.75% hike or a 0.5% hike? I'm curious to know what you guys are thinking. .5, 0.75. Tyree coming in 0.75 or 1%. You think they're going to go a full 1%, Tyree? I mean, I wouldn't disagree with you. I think they need to, but I don't think they will. A lot of 0.75%. Okay. So sticking right in line with the overall sentiment of the rate hike that they have planned. So, okay. Now, let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you guys think he'll mention anything about a pivot tomorrow? Or do you guys think that when the Fed comes out and has their announcement, he's going to stick to his guns and continue to talk about how he's hawkish and he's going to continue to raise rates until inflation really starts going down? You guys think he's going to mention pivoting by any chance? More of the same, hawkish. So yeah, pretty much sticking to his guns is the overall sentiment I'm seeing from most people. And I agree. I think he's going to stick to his guns. He's not going to change anything. And we're going to see the markets continuing to sell off. All right. So failed to break above that 975 support. Going to go ahead and cancel the order then. More bad news. Yeah, unfortunately, I think there's more bad news ahead. All right, let's go take a look at some of our other trades for right now. So ICPT, this is what we were waiting for. A breakout. I don't like that volume that dried up right before that run, though. But I am an aggressive investor. I'm going to wait and see if it pulls back at all. I'm watching the volume. Volume is light to the downside right now. Slightly stronger to the upside, lighter to the downside currently. So that's the nice thing about this. If I get in here where it's trading at 1605, I have a tight stop right below there. So therefore, I'm limiting my potential to the downside and giving the stock. So if it doesn't continue to run, I'm cutting it quickly. If it does, then I'll have a decent gainer here. So let's see, what's it gonna do? Man, the volume on it though, that's the scary thing about entering the trade. Yeah, I could probably get filled, but getting out is going to be a little dicey here, if you ask me. And also, we're seeing it now go to the 3 decimal place on the number or on the price, the lit price. So this is something most people probably aren't familiar with. If you see a number trading for the price of the stock trading on the 3rd decimal, that means it's being internalized. That's a really good indication that it's being internalized. And that there's not a whole lot of activity on it, and that, market makers are really setting the price of this right now. So that is one thing to keep an eye on and be cautious with. When you see it getting down that far into the decimal place, that is market makers trading the stock, not actual investors. So therefore, we need to be careful. Because if a market maker is making the move of this or making the stock move a certain direction, it's up to them when they want to change that. And if they can change, and when it changes, it can change very, very quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that because I don't like seeing that, especially with how light the volume is. We need to find something with decent volume. What minimum daily volume on stocks do you like? So usually I like, anywhere. I like at minimum 100,000. On a daily volume. That's what VectorVest uses for the majority of our predefined searches. That's the thing is though, you could have a stock with 250,000 traded on a 50-day moving average and still have a light day of trading activity. So therefore, you need to be careful with that. Isn't volume too low on ICPT? Yeah, Carlo, that's why I'm taking that trade off. I'm not actually getting into it. The volume is one thing that makes me a little cautious with it, especially seeing it really being driven by market makers, not by, the overall crowd here. So that's why I took that trade. I took the order off. I didn't send it through. Still moving up, but at the same time, I'm not willing to take that because yeah, I can get filled, but getting out is going to be the hard part. All right. CVNA. Failed once, broke out here. Volume's interesting. Let's see. Now it is broken out. Is it going to come back down and retest? I'm being patient with this one, especially with the way the day has been so far. I'm going to err on the side of caution here today. Watching it. Come on. Make a move. A lot of indecision currently. All right, we'll come back and check up on this one in a second. HCGL still pulling back here today. Volume is light. Still holding that support, though. Let's go zoom out. CVNA. Been on a steady decline. What's the market doing? Market still holding that support. Not really getting outside of that range, though. A lot of indecision on the overall market. CYH still running though. UVXY failing to hold above 975. DRV probably up a little bit on that one. Got in right about here. So yeah, should be good on that one for right now. So Lee, I prefer, if I had my way, I would do it in the morning. Opening bell. But we do our jockey club during that time frame. So I am not able to be in the account during that time. Or else I would be doing it 9 a.m. 9 a.m. would be my start time, and continue to go throughout the morning there. All right, so slight increase in volume here, a little bit of a pullback. It's coming right up to that previous high there. 513. Just looking at it. Being patient. When will I be on the jockey club this week? I don't know. I'm going to be pretty swamped throughout most of the rest of the week, Carlo. I just had some other obligations I had to do or take care of earlier this morning, so that's why I wasn't there today. I don't know when I'm going to be back in there this week. I haven't really heard about that yet. So yeah, don't have an answer for you. Am I going to take a break from doing the Jock Club? No, not at all. I just had other priorities I had to take care of this morning, so I wasn't able to be in the office in time to get set up and get ready to go. All right, CVNA starting to pull back a little bit. VectorVest composite now starting to finally set up for a new uptrend potentially. Pulling back. Actually, I want to do this just in case. There we go. Now I can see my trades. So go back into the graphs. Not even close there, Roger. You're harvesting pumpkins. Yeah. Hey, had a good time though going to on the random event on a Saturday or Sunday though. This is why we were patient with CVNA. Now it's starting to pull back. I'd like to see it come down, retest this support or this trend line, and then bounce off of it from that point. ICPT, once again, light volume though. That's the big issue. We're noticing that across the board here today. All right, let's go actually regular daily boomers. HSC could be setting up nicely. You have this consolidation channeling. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. HSC. SONN. So even if we did get into SONN when it was at that support, we didn't necessarily lose anything on that trade if we were to get in. But the only thing we would be losing is our loss of opportunity elsewhere. So glad we stayed out of that and waiting for it to really, turn back around. But volume tells us nobody's really interested in it right now. Just going through them quickly. Just not seeing a lot of volume behind a lot of these moves. At what time of the day does the Fed usually announce their decision? 2 o'clock. Whew. That's what happens. This is why volume is so important. Without volume, a little bit of selling pressure can have the stock drop. What is that? Almost just shy of 10 cents and less than a minute. That's why volume is so important, folks. So HSC, go back to it. All right, so Carvana, maybe finally getting ready to run. We've been patient. Is the opportunity finally showing itself, though? All right, so I pulled the trigger on Carvana. Close that out. There we go. My stop going to be set here, 15.15. If it breaks down below that point, I'll cut it. That's fine with me. But got to have skin in the game, try to win it. So CVNA. Oh, get rid of that. There we go. Zoom back in. All right. Of course, right in, right out. Let's see if it can come back. If it can't on this minute, we'll just simply cut it. Has to get back above that line in the sand there. Got my finger on the trigger just in case. This is going to be a deciding moment. Come on. Man, trying to trade on a light volume day on the overall market makes trading a lot harder, especially in the middle of the day. Let's see. Let's be patient. I've got my finger on the trigger just in case. Giving it the confirmation minute. Back above for right now. Can it hold though? That volume on that sell-off was pretty light, especially knowing roughly about half of it, just as a rough guesstimate, is buying volume off of that low. Okay, so it's back up above. Still have my order open just in case. See what it's going to do here. Now, ideally, what I'm looking for is it to break above this high mark here. It's coming back down, retesting this support resistance zone. If it can bounce, we want to see it bounce and quickly take out that previous high right around 1520. That's the ideal setup that we're looking for. If it breaks above that, I'll close out of the sell ticket. And then we'll adjust our trade appropriately. We'll continue to run with this trade and move it or handle it appropriately here. Come on. Saw a lot of interest pushing it up. Now it's starting to struggle a little bit though. $15.19, come on. You know you want to get above $15.20. $15.20, we're off to the races. There we go. All right, canceling out of that for right now. Zooming out a little bit. So, next line in the sand comes up around, realistically, we have this one here, 1520. We're breaking above that. Next line of sand comes here around 1527. So, I move my line in the sand up to 1520. There we go. And now, next level of resistance comes in 1527. That's where we're keeping an eye on. Whew. Almost broke down below it on that minute. Strong volume though, so tells us pay close attention. We see a little bit of selling pressure on here. Need to be careful. Up about 1/3% so far since entry. Coming back down, retesting that 1520 support. Need to see it hold. All right, showing some indecision on lighter volume. Looking at the volume. Strong volume here, weaker volume here, potentially forming a doji if it stays like it is now by the end of the minute. Close right at support. A lot of indecision at these levels. It's okay if it pulls back to that 1520. We want to see it now continue to move higher. Some buying off those lows coming in. It's trying to turn around. So big up move, lighter volume though. Come on. Being patient with it. Is it going to be able to close at 1520? It did. Whew. All right, right at that support floor once again. You can see this is now acting as a pretty strong support resistance zone. So this is definitely a level of key interest for us here. We've closed at it once, twice. Minute we closed below, went back higher. See, are we going to get that buying pressure off of these lows once again like we've seen? About 1/5 of my positions or my portfolio size in each position, Chuck. We try to keep things evenly dollar weighted here. So everything, all my trades are about 1/5 of the portfolio value. All right, don't like the way that's forming here. Push down, strong volume. Tells me. Go ahead, get rid of it. No need to stick around. Got my finger on the trigger. There we go. All right, out of that trade. Not sticking around. 4 cents. I'm okay with that. I can handle a 4-cent move. So rule number one, once you've traded that stock, get it out of your list. No need to come back around, try to double dip. Regardless of whether it's a winning trade or a losing trade, get rid of it. Because most likely going forward, if you try to trade that same stock throughout the day, your emotions are going to be taking advantage of your portfolio. All right, DRV up about 0.6%. The ACGL, we're down about 2% in that trade overall, but that is a swing trade. Let's go check on that. Still holding above our line of sand. Now, HSC, we were liking it earlier. We have really failed to break to new highs. We have this tight channel. Realistically, let's put that, down here towards these lows, down to about 648. And then the highs at 664. And you can see double top, reversal sign on that double top. Most likely HSC is running out of steam here. All right, let's go look at the markets. So we talked about that bullish divergence. We saw it run, cooled off, now starting to make a slow, steady climb higher here. And just to briefly mention here, this is what we were looking at. So DRV, we got into a position on that. We had that in the portfolio as a swing trade. UVXY, here's that 975. Failed once and twice to break above. Therefore, we never got into it. I'm glad we didn't, because now it's pulling back. Now you potentially are setting up for another double bottom down here at 968. Just got to be patient and wait and see if it can hold. All right, let's go ahead, take a look. SONN. One interesting thing about this trade. Yes, the volume is light, but you are seeing a potential bullish divergence setting up. Price is hitting a new low. DPO and MACD are hitting higher lows here. Man, apparently you guys do not want a swag bag. We are only $61 away from getting our first milestone. And it's been a whole hour. We still haven't. You guys don't even want the swag bag. That's fine. That's fine. I see how it is. All right. Just waiting for the trades to set up, though. IMUX. IMUX looks interesting. Volume is a little lighter, but you are starting to see some renewed interest as of the last roughly 30 minutes or so. But we do need to see this resistance broken here at 202. And that is about the lowest pricing I will consider when looking at a trade. And that's the thing. Some of these that have these the lighter volume may be better for 5-minute candles. It's a slower trade, but it's still, you would still follow the same kind of rules. CYH. We have support. Yeah, we do have some consolidation at 315 before that bounce. Volume, though, be careful with that. So this one, for example, it has volume, just not the greatest 1-minute volume. So this may be one instead of 1-minute bars. Let's take a look at 5-minute. Smooths things out a little bit, makes everything a little bit clearer to look at. Nice steady run here, pulled back for a brief moment. Hey, there we go. Roger coming in. Roger, you didn't have to do it through there. I know you're against the PayPal, but you had the other option of donating directly to Levine. So, hey, but I appreciate that also. Anonymous just tipped $5. Thank you, Anonymous. Appreciate that one. Thank you all. So, yeah, with reaching our goal, that brings us to our first milestone here. So, with that, let's go ahead and Joey, are you in the background? I don't know if Joey's in the background or not because he's the guy to run it. Or let's save it. Let's save it until Joey's here. Let me get confirmation that he's here. If he's here, we'll go ahead and do this. Waiting. Hey, and I completely get that, Roger. That's why I was stating in the link though, there's one where you can donate to us, and that does go through PayPal, or the other one you can donate to directly to Levine, and that does not go through PayPal. So that is your other option as well. If you didn't want to have the super chat cuts taken out, you can also do that. Then another anonymous donor coming out with this $61. Appreciate that, putting us to our goal. 505 currently. Yep. So with that, Joey is in the background, it looks like now. So I need all of you that are here right now, type in TFC into the chat if you want to get entered in for the swag bag giveaway. And then Joey will run that. Let us know who the winner is in a brief moment. But go ahead and start spamming TFC into the chat for your chance to win the first milestone, the VectorVest swag bag giveaway that we have. Since we just met our first goal. Week 2, kicking it off. I like that. All right, there we go. Let's see it. Seeing a lot of TFC. There we go. And it doesn't matter if you're a subscriber or not. Anybody can win. You just got to be here live to be able to win. But TFC for Trading for Charity. And in a few moments, we will have a winner to announce. There we go. There we go. Make sure everybody's in. And this is why it pays to be here. Because if you are not live and we do have some sort of giveaways to do, they can't win. You got to be here to be able to win it. I thought it Toronto Fire calendar. Yeah. Fire Blazer. Yeah, we're going with the Toronto Fireman calendar for the year. The holiday Christmas calendar they have. What time do we roll it? I say go ahead and roll it, Joey. Let's see who's the winner. All right, so UVXY still holding it. Martin is our winner of the first milestone, the swag bag giveaway. Martin, if you are here, let us know in the chat. Can daily boomers be used for swing trades? Yeah, it can. There's definitely some opportunities to use daily boomers for swing trades there, Ryan. It's interesting how the video and chat will get out of sync, the trade for charity. So I waited a few seconds before it came out as well. But Martin, if you are here, let us know. Type into chat. Let us know you're here. Man, imagine being that person. Enter into a giveaway and leave right before the announcement. There we go. Martin is here. Awesome. Hey Joey, so will you type in the email that he can email us at? I think it's Perfect. Thank you, Martin. So you are the official winner of the swag bag giveaway. What's the email address, Joey? VectorVest, something at VectorVest.com, YouTube at VectorVest.com, maybe? I'm trying to remember the exact email address, but Joey will put the email address in there. There you go. So Martin, connect at VectorVest.com. Send us an email. We will get you hooked up and get that sent to you immediately. So send us that email. We can get connected with you and we can make sure you get your winning there. But congratulations. Awesome. So, yeah, so Roger, there is something with YouTube I've noticed over the last 3 to 4 months or so. I think it's where they're trying to integrate their new 4K displaying, and it's screwing something up with the buffering there. And so what it's doing is, because YouTube's trying to get to 1440p resolution, not just 1080, but moving it up one step higher. Something that they're having to do because of how data intensive that resolution is. It looks like they're messing with their buffering to try to alleviate the stops and starts that you get from streaming at those higher resolutions. So, but it's affecting all of their different resolutions that they offer. But I think it's them, the way they're working on it to get 4K resolution to go in. They're basically pausing the stream or the video, whatever you're watching at the time, and allowing it to get out of sync or basically not be live, giving you a little bit of a delay so that way it can keep up with that stream data that comes through for the higher resolutions there. So I think that is something with YouTube. I've noticed it not just with our streams, but with other streams, other videos on YouTube as well. And it's all started ever since they started introducing their 1440 resolution. All right, looking at the markets. Ran up. Now, here's that previous high from that first run up. Are we going to break through it? Are you really using the Starlink service, Roger? I'm curious to know, are you actually using the Starlink? Because that'd be super cool. I'm curious to know how it is for you. All right, CYH. We like this one. Volume, though, dried up as it was running higher there. For about a year now. Oh, interesting. Initial thoughts, or I guess not really initial since you've had it for a year, but are you enjoying it? All right, let me get my trades back up here. There we go. Slower than a local cable, but far more reliable. Interesting. A little bit of a back and forth balancing act there, I take it. All right, looking at the major indices. VectorVest Composite up about 0.5%. Dow down about 0.2%. S&P 500 up or down about 1/4. So all the big three major indices down in the red. Russell up slightly, up 0.8%. Only 2 outages in that time. And that's actually not bad, because I know we had satellite cable or satellite TV growing up as a kid, and I mean, anytime there's just cloudy weather, it had a hard time picking up on the signal there. So I'm wondering if they finally fixed at least some of that issue, so that way you can at least get consistent service if you don't have clear skies. HSC, I still like the trade. It rejected it once again at the 663 or 664. But this support at 658 is holding in nicely. Moving sideways, seeing some consolidation. Sheet rain will hurt it, but not always. What part of the country are you located in? I'm curious to know if, geography wise, if that helps or hurts. Because, I mean, growing up, I was in West Virginia, and we, only get technology 10 years after everybody else gets it. So, to get decent cable, that was about the only option, is going through satellite. All right, HSC, once again, at that level of resistance. You know what? I'm pulling the trigger on it. We got to get one. Did it go through? Let's wait and see. There we go. All right. HSC in the portfolio. Now, I could keep the 658 as my support. Realistically, though, you do have this middle ground of 662. You've hit it once, twice, and the third time you finally broke above it. So let's see on the third time on the bigger support at 664 if we can finally break above it. Northwest Arizona on Colorado River. Oh, gorgeous area. I hiked the South Kaibab Trail many years ago. Went down, stayed at Ghost Ranch for a few days and hiked around there. But that is gorgeous area. The Colorado is mighty frigid even in the middle of the summer. There we go. Just trying to break through. $664. About a quarter. Let's see if we can get renewed interest. Start running. Oh, come on now. Third time was the charm here. Let's make a repeated pattern here. Third time's a charm. Let's go. So market doing, market's breaking through, giving us some potential nice uptrend. And HSC, of course, dumps on the third time there. Yeah, definitely cold. All right, so coming down, 658. Coming back down out of the middle, or to the original channel here. I want to give it some time to run. Come on, HSC. Let's get going. Can we keep it going? Come on. You're still in this channel. You want to get out of that channel. You know you do. Into decision. Let's get some renewed interest in it. And I'm keeping my eye still on, what was it? UVXY. It held that 968 support floor. Bouncing off. So real quick, just briefly, I'll go back. Held that 968 support floor. Could be quite interesting. I'm going to give it a little bit more time, but we may be adding that to our portfolio at the end of the session here. Come on, come on. Trading the lower part of the channel now. Where are we at in the stochastic? So stochastic's percent K is already in oversold territory. Percent D, close, but no cigar. Now, this one. The 5-minute bars make the chart easier to see. A little bit. Not great, but a little bit. Still see that 658 support there. Still have those highs there. But 662. Once, twice, 3 times, 4th time closed right at that point. DRV being our saving grace right now. So 660. Come on, let's get off of that number. You know you want to. I don't think 5-minute bars really adds too much that the 1-minute bars don't show. So I'm going to go back to my 1-minute bars for now. So there we go. 6. Where is that? $664 from that high here. Want to see that volume picking back up though. All right, why that's just moving sideways. Let's go ahead, add some of this to our portfolio. This is going to be a swing trade, especially with what's going on tomorrow. So I'll set it up for you guys. We're going to be buying UVXY, stops, Profit Locker Pro. Let's go with an aggressive stop criteria. Go ahead, place that order, send it through. There we go. So that's all set now. And by that point, HSC still flatlining here. Oh, man. Once the Fed actually starts talking tomorrow, we'll maybe see some new activity coming in. But that's why also, right below me, you do see my Twitter handle. So if I make any trades off stream where I'm not live, I will update it there I will make a tweet about it. So if you want to follow me on social media, want to follow me on my Twitter, you can follow me once again at PRFrance88. And any changes I make to the portfolio that I don't talk about during our streams, I will announce through tweets using the hashtag VVNation. So, that's another way of following, keeping up to date with what's going on. All right, HSC 658, 659 roughly. Every time it's broken down, it's popped right back above. Let's see if it can hold. UVXY got filled 971. Right now trading at 971.5. That's okay. We got stop set up on that one, so that's handling that situation for us. HSC, we are down 0.4%. Actually, 0.4% now. So that's the thing, folks. This is what it's all about. Now, granted, we haven't had a big runner yet. Haven't really had the best opportunities quite yet as well. But at the same time, the losses that we've had have been extremely small. They've been 3 or 4 cents a share on any given trade. That is manageable. So that way, we cut our loser quickly, but if the stock starts running, we let our winners run. And those winners will greatly offset the small losses that we take sometimes on these smaller, quick trades in and out. So it's all about money management. I hope you guys are understanding that. Money management is as important as, supporting Levine. So money management to your portfolio will help save your portfolio. Donating to Levine will help save children's and help make their holiday season better. So, that's why if you guys are paying attention, I hope you guys are picking up on that. We may not win every trade. Even the computer systems, the algorithms out there don't win every trade. From the most recent statistics that I've been able to find, the algorithms win roughly about 70% of their trades. That means there's 30% of their trades that they don't win. Now, you can have even a 40% win rate and still have a successful portfolio. It's all about money management and making sure that you are managing things properly and not letting your emotions run your portfolio. So, that's why I'm using these lines in the sand, because it gives me a visual representation on where I'm cutting my position, just letting it go, moving on. And that way I'm not sticking around hoping and praying that it comes back and waiting to find out what happens later. Hoping and praying is not a trading plan. So staying systematic, staying focused is the most important thing you can do to be successful in the market. And that's what we're trying to help you guys out with here and helping you guys learn about staying disciplined. All right, so HSC, seeing a little bit of a pop, but still lighter volume. Getting back to it, coming back up to that level of resistance at 664. Hey, thank you for that, Shelly. Appreciate that. Just got to be patient. Everybody always talks about it. I talked about it last week too. Everybody always talks about how, being a day trader is so fast and everything, that's way too fast for my blood, trying to get in and out, watching the minute bars and all that. But as you guys can see, it's really not as fast as everybody makes it out to be. Sometimes it can be extremely slow and it's almost feels like paint drying. That's why I love having you guys here. Thank you all once again for coming and hanging out. It really does mean a lot to me. I truly appreciate everybody who's in here right now hanging out with us today. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do this. But it's all about patience and waiting for this. And luckily having you guys here with us allows us to interact and kill the time of waiting for the trades to start getting some life coming back into them or start taking off or really start developing here. Ben is asking, what is my Twitter? So Ben, right below me, you can find my Twitter handle at prfrance88. So that is my Twitter handle. You can find me there. All right. We're back above that level of resistance. Now, got to be patient, see if it can hold. There we go. There's some new life coming into it. Pushing us 669. Nice. Sorry, I have to do that. But yeah, seeing a nice run up here. So 664 realistically now. Let's move that up just a little bit more. 665 is our new line of sand. I like seeing that strong volume coming in. Let's see if it can maintain. Are we going to get follow through on this minute here? Up 0.75%, almost up to the full percentage point. Still moving higher overall. Got about 25 seconds left of this minute. Come on, let's keep going. You know you want to run. I like seeing that strong volume coming in here on that last minute, though. Especially closing in the upper 50% of the range. That tells us the bulls still have control of the trade. HSC at the current level up 0.2%. So 0.68%. Not a full percentage point yet. We want to see it continue to run. First deliberate day trade, though. Thought I've had some accidental ones. All right, coming back down to that 665. Come on. Low volume on these 2 down minutes here. Coming back down to retest support. That's okay. A retest is totally fine. Happens quite often. Now we've hit that level, we want to see it bounce. I got my trade ticket ready just in case if it doesn't. Coming back down, hard stop at 665. Let's see that continuation to the upside now. Come on. Got my trade ticket just in case. So, Ben, no. At the at symbol, PR France 88. Move that at symbol to the very beginning. Or you can just use PR France 88. When you search for it, you'll find it that way as well. Stopping at 665. Come on. The 3 and the 8 are positive. MACD's still moving higher. Just got back from lunch. So we first met our first goal, our first milestone, Jay, for the Trading for Charity event, thanks to VV Nation. Martin was the winner of the VectorVest swag bag that will be coming directly to him. We added DRV. We've added UVXY into the portfolios as swing trades just in case for tomorrow. Right now we are in HSC, up about 0.5% roughly on the trade so far. Looking at it, waiting to see if it can bounce off of this 665 support and then start to move higher from here. So, yeah, maybe Boston or Joey could type that in there into the chat. Come on. Saw the renewed interest. Strong buying. Not enough selling to cover all that buying that happened there. So that tells us the bulls are still into the trade right now. Come on, HSC. Start to move. So, while we're waiting on it, moving my line in the sands up. 670 is our new resistance. 665 is our line of sand. Let's look at the market. Market struggling to break through that 54.30. But right now, our DRV is up about 0.5%. HSC is up about 0.7% right now. UVXY in the green, not by much, but still in the green. There we go. There's that new volume kicking in. Up 1.33%. All right, by the end of the minute, it fails to get above that 670. Take our profit. And the famous words of Dr. D, you can never go broke taking a profit. It's got to close above 670. Got about 10 more seconds. Come on, you can do it. Look at that volume coming in. All right, taking my profit. .6%. I'll take that. Rather take a small win than letting it end up turning into a loss. There we go. All right, so a little over 0.5% on that one. All right, so that's going to do it for us. Once again, we still have ACGL. Let's go take a look at that one. It's pulling back here today, but it hasn't broken our line of sand at 55.15. So therefore, this one's going to stay in the portfolio still. Looking at our two ETFs we added today, UVXY, we added in cost basis was 971. So right now, flat on the trade, but it had a double bottom here at 968 and held this point. So got to be patient. Heading back up towards that 975 resistance. See if we can break through it this time. Looking at DRV. DRV, not a whole lot of trading volume today, but this is why we like the trade. This is a swing trade. We have a double bottom here at 59.04. So therefore, both the DRV and the UVXY, we have an aggressive Profit Locker Pro trading stop on it. So that's going to manage a position if we're not able to trade it or we're not able to watch it 24/7. We have that in place just in case. Now, if DRV by the end of the day gets down below this 59.04, I won't hesitate cutting it, moving on. Cost basis on that one is 60.74. So, on a 60 some dollar stock, taking a 70-cent loss, less than $1, I think that's manageable. I think we can definitely take care of that one. HSC beat earnings this morning. And now it's starting to come back. Hey, they can hold above 670. Let it continue to run. But move your line to stand up as it continues to climb. We took a small win. I didn't want to let it turn into a loss, especially with the lighter volume that we've seen from time to time here today. So therefore, I'd rather take the small win than letting it up to chance. This could end up turning out to be a pretty decent runner. That usually ends up with what happens. I ended up selling out a little early, and it still continues to run, and you, the viewers, get to make the money off of it. So, hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles for me. So, I'm okay with that. As long as you guys are making money, that's what matters the most. And as long as we're raising money for Levine, that's number one. So the two most important things here: raising money for Levine during our Trading for Charity event, and two, you guys, the viewers out there, making money as well. That's really our key goals for Trading for Charity this year. So as long as those two goals are met, I couldn't be happier. So on that note, thank you all for coming and hanging out with me. Don't forget, tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern, I do have the afternoon market action. Glenn will be out. It'll just be me. So we've done this before in the past where we've had a big major Fed announcement. I'll maybe have my stand-in for Glenn in there with me. But I look forward to seeing you guys there. Come hang out and see how the market reacts to what's going on, what the Fed says in real time, and get some up-to-date real-time analysis of that movement as well. So thank you all once again for coming and hanging out. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed yourself. If you have and you haven't already smashed that like button, go ahead and do so right now. All that helps us out, shows your support for the channel, allows us to get visibility, to bring more eyes to the good cause that we're trying to do here with our Trading for Charity event, and try to bring more eyes to raise as much money as we possibly can for Levine Children's Hospital this year. So on that, thank you all once again. I hope you have a great rest of your trading day. Be safe out there. Take care. And until next time, toodles.